All right, let's talk a little bit about how to use objects for interior finishes as our Archicad tip of the week. So when we do this, one of the things that we want to look at is within our object settings. We have a lot of elements to pick from that can be helpful in interiors. Just starting, columns is one. There's many different ones. We've got decorations. We've got obviously door and windows that can be used. A lot of different options, but columns is a great example. If you pick a column, you can choose whether it's Doric or whether it's Ionic or other types of options, and then be able to start picking from various options to change that. You can select from moldings and the wood and plastic finished carpentry, where we can go in and pick a molding curved or a molding straight. And then from there, you can begin to select from different types of design options within the style for base caps, crown, etc. You can also use things like the Archicad to be able to design insets there. And then, of course, furnishings. Archicad has a lot of furnishings itself that you can use out of the box, but there's a lot of other furnishings you can select from as well. So out of the box, you can just go into Archicad, search for a couch, search for bed, search for bedroom elements, etc. And you can begin to select from different elements within Archicad that then have parametric options. With that said, there are also accessories you can add on to Archicad. They're in the Archicad library, like pillows and blankets. They're really great to add a little bit of a touch of finishes to your renderings and projects. But there's also a lot of other options out there for objects as well. If you've not used it, bimcomponents.com is a user-driven place where users can upload their own objects, and Grapsoft also has uploaded a bunch of objects into there. You can search within Archicad object library. You can search, and it will search for BIM objects. Search for objects within the BIM components library automatically within the Archicad interface, or you can go to bimcomponents.com and search there and download the objects as well. You can also go to bimobject.com. This is a great environment for Archicad objects. It was originally developed for Archicad objects. It now has Revit objects as well as SketchUp, but it predominantly has Archicad objects. And when you search for an object, you can specify that you only want Archicad objects, and then it will find those ones that fit and have an Archicad object option for download. There's also the SketchUp 3D warehouse. It's over on Trimble, and the 3D warehouse has been around for ages. There are lots of free objects on there. The thing about something like the 3D warehouse or BIM object or dozens and dozens of other third-party vendors out there, as well as manufacturers that offer their own objects, is that sometimes these objects are modeled and developed great, and other times they're not as great. And so you may need to do some editing to that. So if you ever need to do that, you can also use our Model Port add-on. This is a great way of editing objects like the Viking object over here. You can see on the right-hand side, which originally started as a Revit RFA object, which was a huge file. It was 33.7 megabytes just for the oven. Had polygons, 177,000 polygons. And by using Model Port, we were able to bring that down to a 2 megabyte file with only 19,000 megabytes. So, using this add-on is a great way to be able to handle and to optimize and to manage these objects when they come in from different sources. You can also create your own custom objects in Archicad. This is a fantastic way of doing it. In Archicad, as this railing kind of shows, is an historic project here locally here on the Alameda Island. It was a library that was built back at the turn of the century, last century, 19th. Anyway, it was now converted into a different purpose, but as part of that conversion process, they modeled the entire building in Archicad and created all these moldings and the original designs as well as some of the new designs for the railings. And all that was done within Archicad and saved as Archicad objects. Of course, that's something you can do without having to do any third-party add-ons. You can just model that internally within Archicad. And that's our tip of the week. So let's get into Archicad.